We enter into open session at 7:25. We're going to go on to number one, consideration and action on personnel matters involving the city manager. And I'm going to pass this to our legal.
Chris, could you come to the microphone so everybody can hear you?
No, sir.
Better?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Mayor and Council. Coming out of executive session discussing personnel matters involving the city manager, I have a proposed motion to read to the council. A motion to recognize the improvements and progress the city has made under the city manager's stewardship and to direct legal counsel to draft a council directive number 6 that mandates improvement on the issues which require significant progress to meet acceptable standards. Specifically, improve implementation of short and long-term goals involving an insolvency plan, street maintenance plan, 10-year master plan, 5-year capital improvement plan. 2, to adequately oversee subordinates and departments to ensure compliance with objectives and goals as set forth by the City Council. 3, to conduct employee review of all current employees and, if necessary, present a revised organizational chart. 4, significantly improve communication with the City Council on fiscal, legal, and health and safety issues in order to allow the Council to appropriately prioritize and allocate city resources.
So a motion, Madam Mayor.
I have a motion by Councilman Miller, second by Councilman Castillo. All in favor?
Madam Mayor, before you call the vote, I think there's an opportunity for citizens input before we take the vote. I don't know if there's any, but I don't want to jump over it.
Do we have any citizen comments? Could you state your name for the record, please?
Yeah, my name is Dick Evans, and I have read many of the comments posted on the Wilson County news site. It followed up a story that was in, I think, this week's paper about one of your council members' announcement concerning some investigation in that regard. And after I read the comments...
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop you on that. It is a city policy that gives each individual 5 minutes to speak on issues important to you, but only if it's related to city business, and that is a county issue.
That's what I'm commenting on.
But it doesn't have anything to do with the city.
Well, if you let me keep going, I'll get there.
And this comment period, the citizen comment period is passed, so this comment period is on the agenda item as presented.
Well, what I'm speaking of, or to, is basically in support of someone who I consider a very good quality individual and a friend, both of myself and as well as a friend of my family. And that person is Mr. Andy Jocelyn of Floresville. And I don't know how long y'all are going to string him on with this item that's on tonight's agenda, but when somebody is placed under the gun to perform in a specific manner, that typically has some kind of time limit set onto it. I don't know if y'all are going to string him on forever or until you find enough to do what it is that some of the council members want to do. And we all know what that is if you pay attention to the news stories. Thank you.
Anyone else, please? Yes, Mr. Lopez?
Mayor, I just want to thank you for coming to tonight's right away.
Yeah, I told him right away, I said, check to see what I'm right.
This is what I'm seeing here in the city of Floresville, that there's too much power struggle going on. And in order for like the city manager to do something right, you have to give us a suspense date or a time. And you can't be asking this guy to go out there running like a little kid and putting pressure on the guys out there, because who knows better the job than the guys out there doing the job? Does Mr. Miller know how to do a water model? I don't think Mr. Andy Johnson does either, but the people out there doing it, they know how to do it. So if you give them 3 weeks, you give them a year or whatever, maybe it's not enough time to do this. But the thing is, I think Mr. Johnson is doing a good job at it, and what we need to do is work together like a city, not trying to, talk about each other behind their backs and stuff like that. And that's what we have in this city. A bunch of people that talk about each other, and they're not man or whatever, human enough to go ahead and talk to that person face to face. And I think that's what we need. We need to become a little closer. We're wasting too much time here. 4th of July is coming up. Nothing's going on for the city. What's happening? We're more concerned about Mr. Johnson spending time and money and energy. Let's get about the people. And Mr. Miller, I think you know better than that, because you spend some time in the military. And every time you're in the military, when you give somebody something, you put a suspense date, if they can't meet it, they get back with you and give you. But you keep on giving Mr. Johnson a hard time.
Mr. Johnson, could you comment on this evaluation? I think it was so that we don't end up with a lot. Because it was an executive session, I as a councilman can't speak to a lot of what was discussed. There is a timeline on this, and it was a collective effort of this council and the city manager, and it was agreed upon without much difficulty. So, city manager, I would just like to hear your comments about this evaluation,
Thank you, Councilman.
if you don't mind.
No problem whatsoever. I want the citizens and the employees and everybody from Wilson County area to know that I support my council 100%. They have come in the time that this new council has been together and directed me, and they put some big goals and some big tasks on me, but everything is accomplished. And the only way I can accomplish it is because of my employees. Those are the people, like Mr. Robles says, that do all the hard work. But you know what? We were raised on hard work, and we're going to continue that. But I want to make sure that the citizens in attendance and everybody in Wilson County to know that I support my council. What they're doing is my 90-day evaluation as per my contract. Every 90 days this is going to happen. And I want every 90 days to come with the note to my employees, because those are the ones that I'm responsible for, to know that not every 90 days I'm here to get terminated. This is part of my contract. It's part of what they have to do, something that we agreed on when we signed with the previous mayor and council. So I want it to be a positive thing when we come here from now on. During my evaluation, when it's listed on the agenda, that it's a positive, an opportunity for the council to tell me, Andy, you're doing a good job in these areas, Andy, you need to improve. Exactly what they did in executive session today. We sat there, we talked like adults, we mutually agreed, yes, there are positives, and yes, there are negatives. None of us are perfect, not a one of us. But we are here to serve you, and I thank them in executive session for the simple fact that I get paid for what I do. So every day I know that my family is taken care of. They do this for a mere stipend, and the majority of them don't even take that. They're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it to improve our city, and every council before that has laid the foundation for that, to improve our city. And now it seems that we're going 90 to nothing because of what's happening in our community, and we appreciate all our boards. I know some board members are here, but we're going to continue. The day that we can't, it's going to be done here to say, Andy, you're not doing it, and we part ways. But this is part of business, and I take responsibility for it. But again, I want to thank my council for what they've done, for me, to help me grow, to improve my position as city manager, because this is the first city manager's job that I've had. People gave me an opportunity, and I appreciate that. And I'm gonna continue, and every day I want you to know that I come in knowing it. I didn't deserve this position, but I got it, and I run every day knowing it, that I gotta work for it. And again, my employees, without them, I can't do it. Got a good set of employees, and we're gonna continue to build that workforce to make it easier on what y'all do, because I tell everybody, they do wonders with nothing. And we're gonna continue to improve that, to improve their working condition, to improve the service we provide to our citizens. So, again, thank you.
Was there any other citizen, Mr. Gonzalez?
Mayor, council, and I'm speaking here as a service customer. I firmly believe that the delivery of the services have been improved since Mr. Johnson has been on the job. He and his staff are responsive, very prompt, and thoroughly professional, both in the office and on the field. Communication with the community and service population are excellent, both written and person to person. He personally is very visible and accessible. The bottom line is the city looks better and is more presentable, and I thank every one of you, and especially Mr. Gus. Thank you.
Anyone else? Then I hereby close.
Take the vote, and then the second. Take the vote.
Okay. I had a motion by Mr. Miller, second by Ms. Castillo. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. I hereby adjourn this meeting at 6:35. 7:35, sorry.
7:30.